In 1943, a mother in wartime London stood at her kitchen sink holding the root end of an onion. Rations allowed her family 1 onion per week. Throwing away any part felt like throwing away food. So she planted the root end in a pot of soil on her windowsill. 2 weeks later, green shoots emerged. Within 3 months, a new onion had grown from what she would have discarded. During World War II, families across America and Britain discovered that vegetable scraps, the parts we throw in the trash, could regenerate into productive plants. No seeds required, no money spent, just water, soil, and patience. These same techniques still work today. Your kitchen trash contains the starting material for a perpetual food supply. 14 vegetable scraps that wartime families regrew. 14 sources of infinite food hiding in your garbage. Number 1. Green onion roots. The root end of green onions contains everything needed to grow again. Cut 1 inch above the roots when cooking. Place the root section in a jar with 1 inch of water. Position on a windowsill with indirect light. Green shoots emerge within 3 to 5 days. By day 7, you have usable green onions again. Wartime families discovered this trick stretched a single bunch into weeks of harvest. The same roots regrow 4 to 5 times before exhausting. Transplanting into soil extends production indefinitely. Change the water every 2 days to prevent slime. That single step determines success or failure. Clean water, green onions, dirty water, rotting mess. During rationing, onion flavor made bland meals tolerable. Every scrap of allium became precious. Families who learned this method never purchase green onions again. 1 bunch from the grocery store becomes a perpetual supply. 0 cost, 0 waste, infinite mild onion flavor from what most people throw away. Number 2. Celery Base. Save the bottom 2 inches of your celery bunch. That section where all stalks connect contains regenerative cells waiting to activate. Place the base in a shallow dish with 1 inch of water. Cut side faces up. Root end sits in water. Within 5 to 7 days, tiny leaves emerge from the center. Roots develop underneath. Transplant to soil after 2 to 3 weeks. New stalks grow smaller than store-bought but fully edible. The leaves provide excellent soup flavoring even before stalks mature. Victory Garden Guides taught this technique specifically. Celery seeds are notoriously difficult to germinate. Regrowing from scraps bypassed that challenge entirely. Families could produce celery without ever purchasing seeds. Water must stay fresh, change it every 2 days minimum. Cloudy water means bacterial growth and imminent rot. Full-size stalks take 6 to 8 weeks after transplanting. The leaves mature faster, providing ongoing harvest while stalks develop. 1 celery purchase becomes months of production. Number 3. Romaine Lettuce Base. The bottom 2 inches of romaine lettuce contains the growing point. Most people throw this section directly in the garbage without recognizing its potential. Place the base in a shallow dish with ½ inch of water. Cut side up. Position in bright light but not direct hot sun. Change water daily because lettuce rots faster than most vegetables. New leaves emerge from the center within 3 to 5 days. These leaves grow rapidly, reaching harvestable size in 2 to 3 weeks. Transplanting to soil produces fuller heads than water alone. Wartime families with limited garden space grew lettuce on windowsills year-round. Fresh salad greens remained available regardless of season. The quick production cycle, under a month, provided almost immediate returns. Regrown heads stay smaller than originals. Expect enough leaves for sandwiches and small salads rather than massive heads. But 0 cost for any amount of fresh lettuce represents pure gain. Butter lettuce and loose leaf varieties regrow even more reliably than romaine. Number 4. Potato eyes. Every eye on a potato represents a potential new plant. Cut the potato into sections, each containing 1 or 2 eyes. Let cut surfaces dry 24 to 48 hours. This drying prevents rot after planting. Plant sections 3 to 4 inches deep with eyes facing up. As stems grow, mound soil around them. This hilling technique increases potato production dramatically. British Ministry of Food pamphlets specifically illustrated potato eye planting. The multiplication factor made potatoes the most valuable scrap for regrowing. One potato with 5 eyes becomes 5 plants. Each plant produces to 10 pounds of potatoes. Grocery store potatoes often contain sprout inhibitors. Organic potatoes or farmers market purchases work more reliably. When your potatoes start sprouting in the pantry, plant them instead of throwing them away. Harvest when foliage dies back, approximately 10 to 14 weeks after planting. Properly cured potatoes store for 2 to 6 months. Save the best ones for next season's planting. Number 5. Carrot tops. Cut the top inch from a carrot before cooking. That section includes the crown where greens attach. Place it cut side down in shallow water with the crown facing up. Feathery green leaves emerge within 1 week. These greens continue growing for 6 to 8 weeks before the plant exhausts itself and attempts to flower. Important clarification needed here. Carrot tops regrow greens, not new carrot roots. The root you ate is gone, but those greens provide genuine food value that most people discard. Carrot greens taste like parsley with subtle carrot undertone. They work in salads, soups, and pesto. Nutritionally, carrot greens contain more vitamin K and potassium than the carrot root itself. British wartime propaganda promoted eating every part of every vegetable. Carrot greens represented free additional nutrition from the same purchase. The root fed the family, the regrowing top provided greens for weeks afterward. Transplant to soil for extended production. Water alone limits the growth cycle. Number 5. Cabbage. Cabbage thrives in cool weather and hates summer heat. Early harvest beats the heat. Late harvest follows the heat. Summer planting produces split heads and bitter leaves. January sowing indoors creates transplants ready for March or April. By June you harvest full heads before temperatures climb. Wartime families depended on cabbage more than any other vegetable. Fresh cabbage stored to 2 for months. Sauerkraut preserved the harvest without sugar, which was rationed. Start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. Temperature 60 to 70 degrees produces stocky transplants. Space plants 12 to 18 inches apart outdoors. 10 plants yields 30 to 50 pounds of cabbage. Early and late plantings provide harvests spring and fall. Storage varieties like Danish ballhead keep for 2 to 6 months in a cool location. Number 6. Broccoli. Broccoli bolts in heat, producing bitter flowers instead of tender heads. Early harvest captures the cool spring window. January starting makes this possible. British Victory Gardens included broccoli where climate cooperated. American families were still learning this relatively new vegetable. High vitamin content earned government promotion in nutrition campaigns. Start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before transplant. Cool temperatures around 60 to 70 degrees produce best results. Transplant outdoors after thorough hardening off. Harvest main heads when buds remain tight. Cut before any yellow flowers appear. After main harvest, side shoots continue producing for weeks. 10 plants provide substantial harvest across 6 to 8 weeks. Each main head weighs 1/2 to 1 pound. Side shoot production doubles total yield. January starting means June broccoli, later starting means disappointment. Number 7. Cauliflower. Cauliflower demands more precise conditions than any brassica. Temperature fluctuation causes buttoning, stress produces premature flowering. Inconsistency ruins heads before they form. January starting allows slow, steady growth before summer stress arrives. Late starting compresses development into stressful conditions. Wartime gardeners considered cauliflower a premium achievement. The vegetable required skill and attention that cabbage did not. Success meant bragging rights among Victory garden neighbors. Start seeds indoors 8 to 10 weeks before transplant. Maintain consistent temperatures without fluctuation. Transplant carefully, minimizing root disturbance. Any setback affects head development. Each plant produces 1 head weighing to 2 for pounds. 10 plants provides 20 to 40 pounds. Blanch heads by tying leaves over developing curds. challenging but rewarding for experienced gardeners. January starting provides the long, steady runway cauliflower requires. Number 8. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts require the longest season of any brassica. 120 to 180 days from transplant to harvest. Flavor improves dramatically after frost exposure. British families relied on Brussels sprouts when other vegetables failed. The little cabbages survived winter weather that killed everything else. December harvest from October plantings meant fresh vegetables at Christmas. Start seeds indoors in late January. Grow under lights for 8 to 10 weeks. Transplant outdoors after last frost. Space generously, 24 to 36 inches apart. Each plant produces 50 to 100 individual sprouts. Harvest from bottom up as sprouts mature. Pinch plant tops in September to encourage uniform sizing. 10 plants produces more Brussels sprouts than most families can eat. Frost-sweetened sprouts taste nothing like bitter store-bought versions. Number 9. Leek Roots. Leeks regrow using the same method as green onions but produce larger, more substantial plants. Save the root end with approximately 2 inches of white base attached. Place in a jar with 1 inch of water. Green growth emerges within 1 week. The shoots grow more slowly than green onions but produce larger harvests. Transplant to soil for full leek development. British Dig for Victory campaigns featured leeks prominently. The vegetable's hardiness through winter provided fresh food when most gardens lay dormant. Regrowing from scraps extended an expensive purchase into ongoing production. Water regrowing alone produces only green tops. Soil planting enables full leek development over 3 to 4 months. The white blanched portion that makes leeks valuable requires soil hilling during growth. Leeks left in the ground through winter continue growing the following spring. If allowed to flower, they produce seeds for the next generation. 1 leek scrap potentially starts a permanent patch. Number 10. Beet Tops. The top inch of a beet contains the crown, where leaves emerge. Save this section before cooking the root. Place it in shallow water with the crown facing up. New leaves emerge within 1 week. These greens continue producing for 6 to 10 weeks before the plant exhausts itself. Transplant to soil extends the productive period. Beet greens provide nutrition superior to the root in several measures. Higher iron content than spinach, rich in vitamins A, C, and K. Wartime families who utilized beet tops gained significant nutritional benefits from what most cooks discarded. The flavor resembles spinach with subtle earthy sweetness. Young leaves work raw in salads. Mature leaves cook down like any sturdy grain. The colorful red veins make attractive presentation. 1 beet provides the root for cooking plus weeks of subsequent green production. Double food value from a single purchase, 0 cost for the greens that keep regrowing. The root does not regenerate, only the greens regrow from beet tops. Number 11. Turnip Tops. Turnip tops regrow using identical methods to beet tops. Save the top inch including the crown. Place in shallow water, new leaves emerge within 1 week. Turnip greens carry slightly peppery flavor, stronger than beet greens. Traditional Southern cooking features turnip greens as a staple vegetable. Most grocery shoppers discard them without recognizing their culinary value. During World War II, turnips regained popularity after decades of declining consumption. The hardy root vegetable grew reliably even in poor soil. Families utilizing the greens doubled their food production from each plant. Nutritionally, turnip greens provide excellent vitamin A, C, and K. Calcium content exceeds most leafy greens. The peppery bite mellows with cooking. Harvest greens for 4 to 8 weeks before the plant flowers. Once flowering begins, leaves turn bitter and production stops. Starting multiple tops in rotation provides continuous green production. Rutabaga tops regrow similarly. The larger root produces more vigorous green regrowth. Same method, same timeline, slightly milder flavor. Number 12. Ginger root. Fresh ginger from the grocery store contains growth buds that resemble small pointed nubs. A section with at least 1 bud can become an expanding ginger colony. Soak the ginger piece overnight to remove any growth inhibitors. Plant 1 to 2 inches deep in rich potting soil. Position in a warm location with indirect light. Keep soil consistently moist. Growth emerges in 2 for weeks. Wartime disrupted Asian import routes that supplied ginger. Families with established ginger plants maintained access when stores ran empty. Indoor growing in pots allowed year-round production regardless of climate. Ginger spreads horizontally underground. Harvest portions while leaving the remainder to continue expanding. One small piece eventually fills the entire pot. Divide and repot to increase production. First harvest becomes possible at 4 to 6 months. Full maturity takes 8 to 10 months. The plant continues producing indefinitely with portion harvesting. Ginger requires warm temperatures, minimum 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold drafts kill the tropical plant. Number 13. Sweet potato slips. A single sweet potato can produce 10 to 20 slips. Each slip grows into a plant yielding 3 to 5 pounds of sweet potatoes. One sprouting sweet potato potentially produces 50 or more pounds of food. Suspend the sweet potato half submerged in water using toothpicks, or place in a jar with the bottom inch submerged. Position in a warm, bright location. Roots develop first, followed by green slips emerging from the top. When slips reach 6 inches tall with visible roots, separate them from the mother potato. Plant slips in the garden after frost danger passes. Victory gardens in southern states featured sweet potatoes prominently. The caloric return per square foot exceeded most other vegetables. Slip production from scraps eliminated any seed cost. Sweet potato leaves and vine tips provide bonus nutrition throughout the growing season. Many cultures eat the greens regularly. American cooks overlook this additional food source. Harvest 90 to 120 days after transplanting slips. Number 14. Fennel Base. The bottom 2 inches of fennel bulb contains the root structure and growth points for regeneration. Save this section after using the upper bulb for cooking. Place the base in a shallow dish with 1 inch of water. Feathery fronds emerge within 1 week. Roots develop underneath. Transplant to soil for bulb development. Fennel fronds alone provide valuable culinary use. The anise-flavored leaves work as garnish in salads and as seasoning for fish. Many cooks purchase fennel specifically for the fronds. Mediterranean victory gardens included fennel as a flavoring herb. The strong taste provided variety in restricted wartime diets, regrowing extended expensive purchases. New bulb development requires soil and 3 to 4 months of growth. Regrown bulbs stay smaller than originals. Fronds alone justify the regrowing effort for most cooks. If allowed to flower, fennel produces seeds. Those seeds provide fennel spice for cooking, worth significant money if purchased in stores. 1 scrap becomes fronds, bulb, and seeds. 14 vegetable scraps. 14 sources of free food hiding in your kitchen trash. Green onions, celery, lettuce, potatoes, carrot tops, garlic, onion bottoms, cabbage, leeks, beet tops, turnip tops, ginger, sweet potatoes, and fennel. Every one of them regrows from parts you currently throw away. Wartime families discovered these techniques during years of rationing and scarcity. The knowledge fed millions when store shelves emptied and rations shrank. That same knowledge remains completely valid today. Start tonight, save the root end from your green onions. Place it in a jar of water on your windowsill. Watch it regrow within a week. One success leads to another. Before long, your kitchen produces supplemental food from scraps that cost nothing. The families who survived the 1940s understood something we have forgotten. Nothing edible belongs in the garbage. What will you regrow first?